it up.
And you know, every win is sweet, and I'm sure everybody enjoys a huge victory.
Yeah, some of these guys have the teams that are so stacked, it's just nuts. They'll have pretty much the best player at every position, like right when they're coming out, and I know they must be spending quite a bit on the game. I've never spent money other than buying the copy of the game for Madden, for 2K, for FIFA, any of it. I just like to grind them out and get them on my own. So he gave you 300K. That was pretty cool. And obviously you did well with it to get that much of an improvement. So the big hitters at linebacker, I guess you're somebody that uses the hit stick quite a bit and forcing fumbles. I'm not that skilled with it. A lot of times I'll just hit the X button and let the computer animation go for the big hit for me, because I make myself whiff and then I give up a long play.
Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Studios.
And we're way back on the 1 yard line.
And not great starting field position here for the offense.
With 3 minutes on the clock.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end.
I think with coins right now I'm around 75,000. Had a card on the auction house that was one of the milestones that I don't believe it sold, so I'm gonna need to relist that.
On 1st and 10, McNabb. Flush to his right.
That's no problem, man. I'm sure if we wagered, I'd probably end up donating coins to you anyways. So maybe we can do it sometime on the weekend just for the fun of it and get some viewers to watch us play. Hope things are going good at school for you.
To throw on second, McNabb. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that.
And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted.
That's a bad turnover. Tried to force it. It's going to get this restarted because now we're in a huge deficit.
And tough starting field position here. In the slot on the right is Graham. From the gun, here's McNabb. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. It'll go as a gain of 12.
And I've been looking on the auction house for those Seahawk jerseys that have the special Kims attached to them now that are coming out. Prices have been way up there.
And that drop will cause a little bit of angst for the play caller, because you know they've worked all week game planning and flexing the tight end out and making him a matchup issue.
That does sound like bad news, buddy. Hope everything's going better now.
Man, just couldn't hang on to the slant. McNabb forced out to his left. And left side here.
Yeah, I used to do some stuff like that myself, but I wouldn't like how my body would feel afterwards, you know, with the pain in my hands. So just over time, I've gotten away from that. Definitely for me, meditation and reading has been helpful in not feeling so frustrated when I've had feelings that were kind of overwhelming.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Second down, McNabb. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
So much of this game is about
This
leverage.
Tampa Bay
Talk
defense
about
is getting
full
after me
men
pretty
into the
quick
trenches, just like that,
for
just about
a
every position.
computer-generated
Sometimes, if you
defense.
lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and
I'm
try
gonna pick
to
up the
knock
first
ball
down.
away, and that's exactly what happened there.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. They're going to hurry back to the line now. They'll look to throw. And Graham's got it over the middle.
And I'm gonna get tackled here around the 5 so I can run off some clock for at least one play. Not give Tampa Bay so much time with the ball. We'll go with the run to Dorsett. And we'll just go ahead and punch it in. Oh, we're tackled, which is actually probably a little bit better. Go with the QB sneak and take the clock down even further.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone.
We have all our timeouts. And we take the lead.
And it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
Just a single point, so we go for 2. Inside cross again.
Just saw it right there. Now can they preserve that advantage that they just got?
Jimmy Graham.
This is caught. And it's a 3-point game.
And we'll have to stop a couple of Hail Mary tries from the Bucks. Wind is really strong at me. 16 miles an hour.
You're making the other team chase you.
Now it's Murphy. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Highlighting Mike Evans as he's the best weapon in their passing attack.
He's got time in the pocket to the sideline.
That won't hurt us, and the Bucks only have time for one more play. Adjusting the defense for over the top and to back off. Gonna highlight Evans again and run Wagner deep.
One last shot now for Winston. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete.
And we're on to the final solo.
Drive comes up empty, and with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there.
And usually the toughest solos last. So we'll see what the scenario is here. It's against the Chiefs again. And we'll wait for this to load up. And I'm going to have to pause the stream for just 1 second.
Welcome in. And this is Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports.
Cat was getting a little bit upset. We're going to start out on defense. We're up by 8.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
I'm going to play a little press and try to come after them with the blitz.
From the gun, here's Smith. And it pops free. The collision
Sherman's
there
able to
jarred
get the
ball
pass
loose and
broken
brings
up.
second down.
They attempt to heal.
Second down following the
They're going to go
incompletion.
5 wide
It's a
here.
classic example of trying to
So
run
we'll
with
spread the
ball
defense and
without
play a
securing
little
the catch.
zone.
He was thinking about those rack yards
Use their
instead of
play
making
as
the catch
Campbell on
first
the
and then taking
end.
off.
It's caught on the right side. Williams.
Wagner delivers a hit. It's third down.
Third and 5, so they bring in an extra
Gonna play
defensive
press.
Expecting pass.
Cover flat.
He'll look to throw. And this is
And
going to be incomplete.
he's just out of
back. I'm not sure
bounds.
we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could
Not
run
sure
it,
why, but they're
pass
going to
it.
let
Either
us
one was
have
available.
possession with
They
a
chose
punt.
to try and get it through the air, but they run
So
successfully.
we'll just try to run out the clock as they expend their timeouts. Look out for the fake here. But it's a real punt.
Returnable for Lockett.
And we get a pretty good punt return into Chiefs territory.
Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They have the lead, still a one-possession game, but the defense got the stop. They've got the football now, just salted away, right?
Exactly.
Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use.
And we're just
here in
going to run the
final
ball.
stages.
See what player we get.
They'll run it now.
Hopefully not a kicker.
And a solid. And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout.
But nothing will surprise
That'll be
me.
their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. They'll run it now out of the gun. And play
Can't
is
get around
stopped
the
here.
end.
Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step
Laptop
aside.
wants to reboot. Set that to remind me in a few hours. Since we're up by 8, I'm just going to go ahead and go for it here.
And
Try to
here's
run
a
out the
big one
clock.
now. Try to hold this lead. They're going to go
On the
for
next
it
play.
here on fourth down. In the slot on the right is Graham.
Bring in a free safety
Buy
blitz.
some time right. And
Baldwin
that is
can't hold on, so we're
incomplete.
back on
Boy, it looked like
defense.
he had it and dropped it. And the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. He'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on fourth down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, third down situation.
Going to use
big
their
third
KJ
down,
right
lock
here.
in here. Fourth
The
down
center of
play.
the
Make
field.
sure you focus.
It's a wide receiver screen. We like
It
that.
didn't pay off in that situation.
The
Clock.
completion good for 3, and it's second down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Now whistles and a flag down.
Kind of a
Looked
weird
like one of the Chief
animation.
linemen might have moved.
And it's false start on the Chiefs. Looks like they're in some type of no huddle. Had no control pre-snap there as they spike the ball. Gonna go to dollar as they're not going to be running anymore.
Disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass.
Get an extra defensive back on the field. Highlighting Macklin.
He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly.
And we get the user pick. And we can just kneel down, wrap this one up.
And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, they needed the touchdown and the two-point conversion, but they're not going to get a shot at either. This is a great play here defensively, Brandon, and at a time that they sorely needed one. And that could be enough to help get them out of here with a victory.
And we'll run down the clock here and see what reward we get.
And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not.
Certainly going to be hoping for Bobby Wagner, but not expecting it. And here's the reward. Here's the fireworks. It's Johnny Hacker. Pathetic.